Hey everybody, this is Saul Castañeda with mcscgreenwheels, Greenwheels, and we're back again, going at it again. As you guys know, we're moving through our reckless build and we're going to be doing our grunt build. And we're doing our grunt build, if you guys remember, we ended up putting an IRS and a 93, what was it, 993 notch. And that was quite a video because that was quite challenging. Along with that, man, we're going to be upgrading the rear differential. And so I already have here on my table, I took off the rear differential to our IRS setup. It originally came with this 355 gear, it's the 8-inch, but we're gonna go again with the 373. That's already here, we're gonna be installing that. Along with doing all that, as you guys know, we're moving along, and for those that build cars, we all know that it takes time. You have a car to finish, you have a car to do, and it takes time. We want to stay ahead of the curve, so we do our science, we do our work into the computer to go ahead and do all our research, what we're going to use, so we reach these companies. We buy the parts in advance so we can move fast through these videos. Unfortunately, it never ever works out that way, and here we are here today, guys. This video is basically about telling you like what happened with us and what's going on with us as we're getting ready to rebuild this rear end for our grunt. And what we got all the parts in, and today we start to open it up and get ready, get the pieces ready. And what we noticed, we got our shafts, and obviously we got our shafts in April. And if you guys know, it's January, so it's been some time. We ended up getting our product here from Summit Racing Equipment, and these are about $105 each plus tax. And we didn't open them. We got them as you see them. You know, I opened them. Obviously, you see the tags now ripped open, but this is how we received them. And I guess for the most part of things, when somebody receives anything from any of these companies, a lot of times when the box comes in and it's completely smashed in, then we're going to go ahead and really go in there and check it out, make sure our equipment or what we ordered isn't damaged. We get to the company. We got this delivered. This didn't look like it was thrown around or, you know, mistreated. Obviously, it's a little funny packaging from the company because, you know, you go to any other store, this has a whole box that, you know, it's covered in. So we typically, now that we reached this moment, we're 6 months out of it, and you know, obviously these companies tell you, oh, we have a warranty, we have a time frame. Fine. When we got the packaging and it's not broken and then nothing doesn't look like as it should be, they are destroyed, we don't really think that there's something wrong with the equipment inside unless we're dealing with electronics. Electronics are not always to say that they're 100%. It could be damaged, they could have a short in it, whatever can happen. But we're dealing with mechanical stuff here. A lot of this stuff is just, you know, you got to put it in. It's got grease. There nothing really isn't mechanical. And the way we can see when it's damaged, what is it? They dropped it, they marred it. It's got a chip, a dent, it's bent. Any of those things, then we can see physical damage to these parts. And yes, we have to go through it. But as you guys saw, the boxes look pretty much intact. We pull out our first one here, and this is what our IRS shafts are going to look like for the grunt. Now that's beefy, meaty, and it looks good right here, right guys? This, I'm going to go ahead and just remove this right here. Brand new drive shaft for a 2004 IRS rear suspension that we're doing on our 93 notchback that we call the grunt. Very good. This is, you know, we expect it, we look around. So I went ahead, you know, this was fine. We're gonna use this shaft. We went ahead and we got this box here too. Now, obviously, I should have questioned the fact that I got two different boxes. And I was like, but I didn't think so. I thought a box much similar to this would be inside of here. But the grunt of disappointment, as you guys can hear, basically this how it came in. Obviously it was wrapped in the plastic, and these things ain't light, man. These are heavy, right? So when we got it, this is what we received. I'm gonna remove this plastic here, make it already rip. And here we go. Now, to the naked eye, when you look at this thing, it looks pretty good. If it wasn't that this tape was already on here when we opened the box, when it was already on here, I probably would have found it. I know I would have found it because we have to do an inspection, but I would have actually, you know, like you would see, oh wow, this is messed up, right? So we had to call Summit Racing and call them up and ask them about it. No, it's not. It's 6 months out and whatnot as their policy. And our argument on this was that this is supposed to be brand new. If it's brand new and the box is not damaged and nothing's been damaged to the inside, it looks like fairly good scent, and it's a mechanical piece. Look, That's look at that.
That way they have to like install that.
You know,
Have this.
if you would have installed this, man, if we would have put this in, this would have ripped off in a couple of weeks after driving it. So, you know, and here's, you know, like, did they pull these both off the same shelf? You know, I don't understand. If they did, why does one look like the other? Why does this one have tape all over it and this one doesn't? If they came off the same shelf, that's my question. So as you guys can see, it says damaged boot. I did not put this sticker on here. This was when I opened the box directly on there, and they put little 2 tabs on there. And the only thing I can think of is that whoever received this, they must have sent it back, and somebody at the warehouse or something, they just went ahead and either overlooked it, put it back in placement, and then we got it. So we're now 6 months out, and you know, they're like, they don't do this, they don't do that. And our argument is that, like, if we receive these parts, I'm expecting a part like this to be new, not completely damaged. And I could see it, it's dry rotted maybe, okay, because it looks fairly new. It looks new, it looks good. You know, it's nice and solid, you know, and the only thing I could think of, it's a dry rotted boot. Why would you send us a part that either somebody at the factory somebody at the factory overlooked, or somebody didn't even inspect? And the worst part about it is when they try to gaslight somebody like us, or anybody of the client or the customer base. It's the worst part when they gaslight us. And I think that none of this gets around, as the representative says, he has never had any experience like this. Which the only thing I can think of, I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones this has happened to, but it's very few people with either a YouTube channel or with the time or patience to put up with what has to happen, with the overall dealing with people like who are definitely gaslighting you and saying it's your fault. And the only thing that we had was like, look, we should be expecting quality parts from a quality company that we ordered from. Why should we have to worry about a mechanical part like so, that to be damaged like that? You know, especially when I got it with the sticker on there. That means that to me that this was never viewed. Nobody saw this. It probably skipped a beat somewhere, and they just threw it back into circulation. You know, and I guess maybe on our YouTube channel here, maybe saying, oh, well, you're making a big deal out of something that, yeah, maybe you could just go ahead and buy the boot. And that was my first suggestion, because I am pretty frustrated. We're pretty frustrated with how companies have treated us.
Where your time?
You know, this is a waste of money. It's a waste of time for us as well. And you know, guess what? If they had said, no, we're not going to do it, now we're $105 out that we're going to have to go ahead and search for this again. And we're definitely not going to the same company. So, you know, it's disappointing. And so the biggest thing is that we just recently ordered a brand new block, Generation 3 Coyote block from them, for our 93 notchback. And you know, we didn't even get to see it because that went directly to our speed shop, the machine shop. They're gonna sleeve it. The machine shop, like anybody else, and again, anybody that works in this business or has this, you guys know, any delay moves that car just a little further because you have more customers to deal with, more cars to fix, and it's gonna have to wait this time in line. Same thing with us. We took in our block. Our block was cracked. We bought our new block, but as we found out now, what if they don't touch it for another couple weeks, maybe another month? Are they going to avoid the fact that when they do see it and they do scope it, we have a new block, but they tell us, hey, we can't sleeve this. It has cracks inside of it. Are we at fault? Or is the company going to be able to help us to replace that just because their policy ran out 3 weeks ago, a month ago, a week ago, whatever it may be? Are we just supposed to sit there and eat it and feel gaslit when a company says, no, we're going to do this for you one time, just for you though? I'm like, it's insulting, I would say. But the worst part is that we don't understand now. We can't feel comfortable with thinking, now I'm going to have to call the speed shop and say, hey guys, I need you to really go look at that car and that engine now. Can you do me a favor? Stop what you're doing. Skip everybody else's projects and please look over mine, because the new block from the credible company that I just bought it from, it may be defective. And it's just like I said, it's just demoralizing. Now, Summit Racing, in their defense, they are going to send it back to us. But again, these kind of things and these kind of little battles do not come with a little bit of gaslighting and, you know, just telling you, oh, you're working way too slow, maybe you should move faster. And, you know, we're just trying to stay ahead of the curve. We know what we need. We're not buying electronics. If it was an electronic dashboard, we will test that out, because I can trust you. Electronics may not always work, but this is a mechanical piece. You know, there's nothing electronic on this car. It's very straightforward for what it does. You know, movable joints in here, you know, but why should I worry about a piece like this to come damaged unless the box is damaged? Is the company not doing their job to vet it or to go through it or to check for these pieces? Is Summit Racing not standing around, or any managerial person from that company looking to see, all right, we are sending a quality part? Guys, again, I may sound like I'm ranting and raving, which I probably am, but I've worked in the business of taking care of companies and service for a long, long time. And I will tell you this, even what we used to do with when we had our shop, man, it's got to keep the customer happy. Make sure you do the clean job, you know, and we're dealing with these companies. We're spending our good, hard-earned money, and we're wasting our very precious time to get gas and told that it's our fault when it's just a mechanical piece like this. Our big battle was, we were telling them we wouldn't have to go through any of this if you just sent us something that someone had looked at and realized that it's not good, that it's broken, that it's defective, that it's even dry rotted. Is no one looking? Do they not have an inventory of these? Does nobody look in inventory of these? There's a lot of questions that go around, and the only reason they come up is because we just have this new block. So, in conclusion, guys, I'm just going to ask the question, am I making a big deal out of this? Am I blowing this out of proportion? Because I should think that in a non-electronic part like this, you know, I don't think there'd be anything damaged. Now, can I have changed the boot? Absolutely. But for all of those that are out there and they work on this kind of stuff, it's kind of a pain in the butt to go ahead and do all this, you know? You gotta take it out. Your hands get all greasy. Yes, but, oh, okay, so it's only a $26 boot. Yes, but this just takes off from the rest of your time from something else that you could be moving, could be finishing. That's the only thing. I'm a one-man show sometimes, so, you know, it's detrimental to me to make sure that I stay on top of things, stay on top of the timing, you know, slow downs. And if I had a shop, this would be a customer, you'd be paying me. So just think about that. For those guys out there, like, well, I take it to the shop. Guess what? You're paying them for that waste of time that just happened. Well, we're going to have to reorder again, bud. So for all of you out there, guys, leave us a comment. Let us know. Am I reacting, or should companies be able to have a little bit more flexibility with these kind of parts as opposed to electronics? So guys, give me a couple questions and we'll see if we can give you a couple answers. And we'll keep you posted to when it comes in and as we finish our grunt. Please stay fresh, guys. Have a good night.